Good day, grade 8 students, and congratulations in advance because you are already at the last lesson of this quarter. I'm hoping that you've learned a lot from the previous video discussion. And for this week, we will discuss one of the most important aspects of this course, which is the practice of Occupational Health and Safety Procedures, or OHSP. So during your grade 7 courses, OHSP was already discussed, but now we will identify its application in the world of cookery that you'll need when you engage into business related to it in the near future. So to recall hazard, risk, and to learn more about food safety hazards, please continue watching this video. To start, let us first identify what is OHSP, or the Occupational Health and Safety Procedures. And it pertains to the company procedures to take care of the social, mental, and physical well-being of its employee. Meaning, as a responsible owner or entrepreneur, you must always put the well-being of your employees in the list of your priorities. Keeping the workers safe is as important as making the business flourish. In addition, OHSP also aims to save the lives of the employees by eliminating hazards. For instance, through OHSP, employees in the food establishment became aware of the diseases that they can acquire, like food poisoning due to improper hand washing, poor personal hygiene, and cross-contamination. And effective health and safety programs can lead to a positive outcomes. Now that we are still facing the pandemic, so OHSP can also help us to ensure the safety of the employees and customers if safety and health measures will be strictly implemented in a certain food establishment. All the workplaces do have their own set of problems, and for commercial kitchen, so here are two of the major problems that dangers the worker. So first is an ill-functioning equipment, and there were a lot of recorded and reported accidents that were caused by ill-functioning equipment, like cuts caused by malfunctioning meat slicer, and thus maintenance and check-up of those equipment must be done in a regular basis. Next is carelessness that can cause accidents. So for example, due to a wet floor, one might slip even if there's a presence of signage because one is not paying attention. Meaning alertness and mindfulness in all the tasks in the workplace is a must for all the workers to avoid unwanted accidents. One of the most important concepts in OHSP that one must clearly understand is the difference of hazards and risk, wherein hazard is the harm or adverse health effects on something or someone under certain conditions at work, while risk is the chance or probability that a person will be harmed or experience an adverse health effect if exposed to a hazard. So let's examine the image presented para mas maunawaan nyo kung ano ang pinagkaiba ng hazard at ng risk. So as you can see, we have here range and electrical outlets. So those are the hazards. And if they are not attended properly or hindi maayos ang condition, it can lead into fire or pagkasunog, wherein that is the risk. So pagka nagluluto ka, iniwanan mo yung niluluto mo, pwedeng magkaroon ng sunog. Ang sunog is the risk or probability na magkaroon ng masasaktan that may cause or lead into death or loss of properties. Next on the image, we also have here a simple knife. So a simple knife is considered as a hazard. And if improperly used or hindi maganda yung condition ng knife nung ginamit mo, the risk that it imposed is cut. So pwede ka pong mataga or mahiwa gamit ang knife. Another sample on the image, So as you can see, we have there spills, water spills on the floorings. Once na unnoticed, pwede pong may madulas, and that is the risk. Yun pong slips, nadulas, that is the risk dahil sa water or water spills. And water spills is the hazard. So I hope using those examples and these images ay naintindihan ang pinagkaiba ng hazards and ng risk. Since it's clear to you now the difference of the hazards and risks, let us now discuss what are the different food safety hazards since our course is cookery. And food safety hazards, so it pertains to any agent that potentially cause negative effects or consequence for the consumers. And it may occur when the food is exposed to a hazardous agents that can cause food contamination. Following are the three major food safety hazards. First, biological. Second, chemical. And third, physical. Number 1, biological hazards. It occurs when the food is contaminated by microorganisms like Salmonella, E. coli, and the like that can cause diseases. They are usually introduced to the food from the environment. And cross-contamination, so it might happen when microorganisms are transferred from one substance to another. And commonly, it happens during the transport of the food, during the handling, processing, and through improper storage of the food item. Number 2 is chemical hazards. And it occurs when chemicals are present in the food that can be toxic or hazardous to humans. So some chemicals become hazardous depending on the levels or amount of it into the food item. So here are some ways kung paano po nagkakaroon ng chemical hazard sa isang pagkain. So through environment, if for example gumagamit ng pesticides doon po sa pinaka-raw materials na iyong gagamitin, then hindi mo hinugasan ng ayos. So pwedeng magkaroon ng food contamination or pwede kang poison. Next is deliberate use of chemicals. For example, you are washing the certain vegetable, then gumamit ka ng cleaning agents, hindi mo hinagasan ng ayos. So, possible na ma-transfer yun sa pagkain pag niluluto na siya. Then, addition of food additives. So, it's okay naman po to add food additives but not too much. Kasi too much of the food additives can be hazardous or harmful sa katawan ng isang tao. It could lead to poisoning or pwede din naman po in the long run ay mag-cause ng mga diseases. Number 3 is physical hazard. So it occurs when the particles are introduced to the food that are not supposed to be seen into the food that are introduced due to wrong or bad food handling practices. So examples po niyan is cracked eggshells. So nagprito ka ng itlog, then hindi maayos yung pagkakakrack mo, pumatak po yung eggshells doon sa pinaka itlog na yung piniprito. So that is a physical hazard na already. Then hairpins, if you are not wearing it properly, then human nails or human hairs or anything na hindi dapat nasa pagkain ay nasa pagkain. That is a physical hazard. Thus, to avoid physical hazard, one thing that you can do is to properly use PPE and observe proper grooming when preparing food items. Now that we are done discussing the different concepts, so please keep in mind this big idea. So, hazards in the workplace are common. So, hindi mawawala ang hazard sa isang lugar, especially sa isang workplace. And OHSP were designed to protect workers and the business itself. So, it can save the lives of the workers because hazards were controlled, and at the same time, it could also protect your business from loss due to the negative effects of the different hazards like loss due to fire, accidents, and food contamination. In that sense, so following health and safety protocols is therefore necessary. Help you deepen your understanding of the lesson And to help you prepare for the major activity of the week, so answer and accomplish the enrichment activity entitled Workplace Inspection and Getting Rid of Identified Hazards. So here is the direction, so let me read. Inspect the area that will serve as your workplace in preparing your product and area you're going to operate your business, and identify the different hazards present. Then indicate the possible corrective actions in the specified column for each of the hazards. So for the complete instructions, please refer to your Zenyo package. Make sure to use the template included in your learning package and submit the accomplished file only through Zenyo. As we approach the end of this course, we're also now at the last major activity of the course. Before we put up all together the outputs you've submitted on the previous week in preparation for your finalized business activity plan. So for this week, you will think and list down at least 3 safety practices and measures per area of concern for your business idea. So namely, cleanliness of the food offered and safety of the workers. For the other details about the task, so please refer to your Zenyo package. So thank you so much for watching this video discussion. So students, for this week, week 6, aside from the major activity, you need to finalize as well your business activity plan. So for the instructions, again, please refer to your Zenyo package for the instructional video attached for the activity. So thank you so much and keep safe, grade 8 students.